So today's class is going to be kind of earth inspired. There's a lot of grounding postures and some standing balance postures. I'm going to move a little quicker today, try and create some energy and take some energy out from the earth. So if you just want to close down the eyes, bring the palms onto the tops of the thighs and just start to allow yourself to settle into the practice. Taking the inhales and exhales through the nose. Scanning the body for any areas of tension. And sending the breath there. Sitting up nice and tall. Crown of the head is reaching up. Just feel the sit bones grounding down into the earth, into the mat. Knowing that you're fully supported here. Inhale deeply through the nose. And just take one big cleansing exhale out the mouth. Letting it go. We'll do that again, and this time actually allow yourself to make a ha sound as you let go of old energy from the body. Inhale. And exhale to ha. One more like that, inhaling. Exhale, ha. Inhale here again through the nose and just exhale again through the nose. Trying to elongate the exhales. They're slightly longer than the inhales. So inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you're sitting here, just imagine that you have roots growing out of your hips, growing down into the earth. And when you inhale, you're taking your energy up from the earth and sending it around your body with the exhale. And just sit with that visualization for a few moments. Knowing that on the earth we're all connected. We're all part of one bigger universe. And the earth provides everything we need to survive. Oxygen, food, water, shelter. And we'll just chant the sound Om, which is the universal sound. In the Hindu mythology, they believe that this was the sound that created the universe, kind of like our Big Bang Theory. It actually has the 3 parts to the sound, A, U, and the M, and a little silence after. So we inhale deeply, exhale, let it go first. Then we'll inhale and exhale to Om. Inhale, exhale. Oh. Inhale. Just exhale. Gently allow the eyes to flutter open if they were closed down. Just remove anything out from underneath you and take it into child's pose on the mat. Just bring the knees and the big toes to touch. Inhale and exhale, folding forward, allowing the forehead to connect with the mat. The palms can face up and stay back by the feet to release into the shoulders. Inhale deeply through the nose here, and we'll exhale to ha again. Ha. 2 more times like that in your own pace. Inhale. Ha. 1 more inhale. Exhale. Ha. Letting go of all the stress of the day. Feeling your forehead ground into the mat, supported by the earth. Feel the shoulders roll down towards the earth, and the hips are sent going back towards the heels. Fully supported here in this fetal position. On your next inhale, tuck your chin, slowly come back up so you're sitting on your heels. Walk the hands out towards the top of the mat so you're in a tabletop position, knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, and just inhale, send the shoulders over the fingertips, and exhale back, just warming into the wrists, inhaling and exhaling. Press the earth away with the palms of the hands. Inhale and exhale. Try and keep the arms nice and straight. And then take the fingertips out to the sides of the mat. Just take it from side to side, moving with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And next, just take the fingertips back towards the knees. You can do this one by one if it's very intense on your wrists. Inhale and exhale. Back and forth, trying to keep the heels of the hands connected with the mat. Stretching into the wrists and the forearms. If you're doing one hand at a time, just switch your hands now. And just find your way back to stillness. And just take your attention to your hands here and feel the energy underneath your hands. So grip into your fingertips and make sure all of your knuckles are grounded into the mat. So the first knuckles, the base of your fingers. And just feel that kind of suction that the palm of your hand creates when you press all 4 corners of the hand into the mat. On an inhale, tilt the tailbone, send the chest forward, lift the chin and look up for cow. And exhale, press the ground away, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin round through the upper back for cat. Inhale back to cow. And exhale back to cat. Moving with your own breath. Inhale and exhale. Coming back to that visualization of taking energy from the earth up through your hands. Inhale and exhale. Come back to stillness and tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. The hands are about shoulders width distance here. And really ground down through all those knuckles. Grip with your fingertips. And check that the inside of your hand is connected with the mat, so the space between your thumb and your index finger. Index finger can point forwards or middle finger, depending on what feels best for you. Forearms are firmed in, length through both side bodies. Tilt the tailbone up and back, and even bend into the knees to really straighten into the spine. Bring the belly to meet the upper thighs, and then try and straighten the legs. Energetically sending the heels towards the earth. It's okay if they don't connect. Inhale and exhale here in your down dog. Press the ground away with the hands, strong in the feet. On an inhale, come up onto the balls of your feet and roll yourself slowly forward to high plank like a wave. In your high plank, the shoulders are over the wrist, tailbone is tucked under, strong through the core. Exhale, bend into the knees and send the hips up and back to downward facing dog. A few more like that at your own pace. Inhaling to roll yourself forward and exhaling, bend the knees, send the hips up and back, down dog. A few more undulations here. Waking up the spine, inhale forward and exhale, send it back. Inhale to come forward, and this time lower the knees and take it back to that cat back position. Exhale, take it back to cow, tuck the toes, and then again lift the knees and the hips up and back to down dog. A few more like that. Rolling yourself forward on the inhale to cow. Exhaling back to cat, and then lifting the knees and sending the hips up and back. Trying to make it a nice fluid motion. Inhale, roll yourself forward, lower the knees, press the ground away, round through the upper back, and exhale, tuck the toes, lift the knees, send the hips up and back. And just take any movements in your down dog here. Maybe you like to pad into the feet like a cat with your paws. Or maybe you like to bend one knee and straighten the other leg. Maybe you like to sway the hips a little bit. Taking any movements here you want to open up into your own body. Come back to a place of stillness and inhale, lift the heels up. Exhale, send the heels over towards the right and the toes towards the left. And just plant the soles of the feet back down. Sending the hips over towards the right, but keeping the weight even in both hands. So don't allow all your weight to go over into the right hand. Try and press into both hands. Getting a nice stretch through the sides of the knees here. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, take it over to the other side. So heels to the left, toes to the right, hips go towards the left slightly. Trying to keep them over the feet. Even in both hands here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, take it back to center. And exhale, press the heels back towards the earth. On an inhale, slowly come up onto the balls of the feet, look forward at the hands, walk the feet towards the hands. When you arrive here in your forward fold, your feet are about hips width distance. Weight is in the toes, sit bones are over the heels, and you can bend as much into the knees as you need to here. Inhale and exhale, just allow the chest to fold towards the knees. You can grab opposite elbows and just let the head hang heavy here. Nod the head yes, shake it no. Releasing through the neck, allowing the weight of the head to pull you closer towards the earth. And coming back to that cow back we had in the beginning. So the tailbone is sent back, the chest is forward. That's kind of the spine position you want for these forward folds. So you lift through the pelvic floor and hug the navel into the spine. Inhale and then exhale. Maybe you can fold a little bit deeper. Even if you bend into the knee to make that connection between the belly and the upper thighs here. Inhale, send the chest forward and exhale, fold. And then you can work towards straightening the legs. On an inhale, slowly tuck the chin, bend a little into the knees, and slowly start to stand up. Here in our standing position, just bring the hands interlaced at the low back. And exhale, send the knuckles towards the heels, send the chest up towards the ceiling. Inhale here and exhale. Just fold back forward again, keeping the hands interlaced. You can use your strap here if you need to, if it's very tight on the shoulders. Inhale to come up halfway and exhale. Send the chest towards the upper thighs. Take one breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Allowing the hands to fall behind the head towards the earth. Inhale, take it back up halfway, and exhale, take it up all the way. Release the clasp of the hands, standing here in our mountain pose, Tadasana. Let's keep the feet hips width distance today. And just look down at your feet. Lift all 10 toes up off the mat, and then place them back down. Try and spread the toes out as best you can and make a connection between your big toe mound, your baby toe, and the back center of your heel. The second toe should be pointing forward, because our feet are kind of a triangular shape. So you want to aim for the back middle part of your heel to be centered. And just try and keep that connection between all four corners of your feet. And imagine energy drawing up through the feet, up through the body, up through the legs, through the pelvic floor as you tilt the tailbone slightly forward into a neutral pelvic position. And then roll the shoulder blades back and down. Hands are by the side, gaze is forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Look up at the thumbs and exhale, fold forward, hinge from the hips. Forward fold. Send the chest towards the shins. Inhale to come up halfway, lift. Hands can come to the shins. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands and step the right foot back behind you. Lower the right knee down onto the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up for Anjaneyasana. And exhale, send the hips forward and down. So your left foot is on the left side of the mat. The right knee is on the right side. Hips are squared. So send the right hip forward as the left hip pulls back. Strong in that left foot. Right, left knee over left ankle. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, frame the left foot. Tuck the back toes. Send the left foot back to the right for high plank. Inhale here, exhale, lower the knees, the chest and the chin. Inhale, slide forward, hug the elbows in for cobra, strong feet. And exhale, back through tabletop, tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg up and back. Keep the left foot grounded down onto the mat if you can. Point through the right foot. Hips are squared, so facing down towards the mat. That means rolling the outer left hip in and the inner left thigh up. So you're not going to be able to lift that leg as high as if you were to leave the hip open, but it's just a different sensation. Inhale here and exhale, come onto the ball of the left foot, hug the right knee into the chest, flex the foot, press the ground away, and plant that right foot next to the right thumb, lower the left knee, sweep the arms up, exhale, send the hips forward and down. Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Inhale and exhale. Lift through the rib cage. Send the chest towards the sky. And exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes and step the left foot to meet the right. Inhaling up to halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, looking up. And exhale, hands back at heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hand. Left foot steps back. Lower the left knee. Sweep the arms up. Anjaneyasana on the right. Hips are squared. Feet are on opposite sides of the mat. Inhale to lift the chest and exhale, send the hips forward and down. squaring through the hips. Left hip pulls forward as right hip pulls back. Lift the rib cage up and exhale, frame the front foot. Send the right foot back to meet the left. Inhale, exhale, lower the knees, chest and the chin. Inhale, slide it forward to low cobra. Elbows hug in, broaden the collarbones. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes up for three-legged dog. Square through the hips here. Point through the left toes. Outer left hip rolls down as inner left hip rolls up. Inhale here. Exhale, come up onto the ball of the right foot. Hug the left knee in. Press the ground away, round through the back. Flex the left foot, inhale. And exhale, lower the left foot next to the left thumb. Lower the back knee, inhale, sweep it up, Vinyasa. Exhale, hips forward and down. Right hip pulls forward as left hip pulls back. Lift through the rib cage of the inhale and exhale. Send the hips forward and down. One more inhale here. Exhale, frame the front foot, tuck the back toes. Step the right foot up to meet the left. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, sweep it up. Hands meet overhead and exhale, hands back at heart center. Take one cleansing breath here. Inhale. Exhale, let it go out the mouth. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up at the thumbs. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands here now. This time, step it back to high plank. Inhale here and exhale, take knees, chest, chin, or if you want chaturanga, shift the weight forward past the fingertips and exhale, bend the elbows lower down. Inhale, over the toes for upward facing dog or cobra, and exhale, back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here, inhale, exhale. Reconnecting with the breath in our down dog. Knowing child's pose is always an option too. Inhale, exhale. On an inhale, look forward at the hands, come up onto the balls of the feet, and just step forward, coming up to halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, sweep it up, hands up overhead, and exhale, hands back at heart center. One more just like that. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back to chaturanga. If you're jumping back, you need to land with the elbows bent in chaturanga, or take knees, chest, chin. Take it up to cobra or up dog, and exhale. Take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale here and exhale. Press the ground away with the hands. Reconnecting with the breath in down dog. Our resting position. Always taking child's pose if you need more rest. Inhale, come up onto the balls of the feet. Look forward at the hands and exhale. Step forward or bend the knees and hop. Float forward, land quietly. Inhale, up halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep it up. Look up at the thumbs and exhale, hands back at heart center. It was one classical sun salutation and two sun salutation A's. We'll take it now to sun salutation B. Inhale, bend the knees, send the hips back, and sweep the arms up for chair pose, Utkatasana. Knees are over the shins. Weight is in the heels, so you can lift all 10 toes up off the mat and then place them back down. Tuck the tailbone under, lift the chest up and send the hips lower. Inhale here and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and take your choice of vinyasa. Jumping back or stepping back. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Or up dog, cobra, and back to down dog. When you arrive in down dog, inhale, sweep the right leg up and back. Exhale, into the chest. Replace the right foot with the right hand. Pivot the back foot 45 degrees and sweep the arms up for warrior one. If this bothers the knee, you can keep the toes tucked and take it to a high crescent lunge. Making sure the feet are on opposite sides of the mat here. Hips are squared towards the front. So left hip pulls forward as right hip pulls back. Sweep the arms up, lift the rib cage up. Look up at the thumbs. And exhale, frame the front foot. Step it back to high plank. Take your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin. Cobra. Chaturanga, up dog. And then back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes up. Exhale, hug it into the chest. Plant the left foot down next to the left thumb. Pivot the back foot. Sweep it up for warrior one on the left. Inhale, exhale, bend into that left knee more. Square through the hips. Inhale, lift the rib cage up. And exhale, frame the front foot. Step it back, high plank. Inhale, exhale, lower it down. Inhale, up. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're here for 5. Inhale deeply through the nose and exhale. Let it go out the mouth. Creating a lot of heat here in the body. Inhale and exhale. Reconnect with the breath. Lift through the pelvic floor and hug the navel in and up. Turning on the lock. Connecting with your Ujjayi breath if you haven't already. Or feeling free to rest in child's pose if you need. Inhale, come back up to down dog if you're resting. Come up onto the balls of the feet, look forward at the hands, bend the knees and step forward. Coming up to halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the hands up, bend at the hips. Bend the knees, send the hips down, take it back to chair pose. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, hands to heart center, straighten the legs. Back to our Tadasana mountain pose. And just check back in here with that connection with the feet. Making sure that the toes, big toes, baby toes, and backs of the heels are grounded firmly on all sides. Inhale here and exhale. Let it go through the mouth. On an inhale, bend the knees and send the hips back down. Sweep the arms up for chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale and exhale. Send the hips lower. And the hands can be kind of diagonally out towards the cheekbones. They don't have to be right up overhead because it's quite hard on the shoulders to reach them straight up. Inhale and exhale. Maybe take it a little bit lower. Inhale here. Shift the weight into your right foot. Come up onto the ball of the left. Send the left foot out and hook it across over the right for eagle position. If you can hook the feet twice, do. If you can only hook it once, just point those left toes and send them over towards the right. Sweep the left arm under the right and clasp the hands in front of your face. Inhale to lift the chest and exhale to fold. One more like that. Ground into that right foot. Inhale, lift and exhale, fold. Inhale here. Keep the arms Release the clasp of your left leg and send it back behind you. Bend into that right knee, strong in all four corners of the right foot, and then send that right foot back, left foot back towards the back of the mat, setting up for warrior one again. Bend into the right knee with the eagle arms. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, fold forward for humble warrior. Now, if you find it easy to just fold all the way down, maybe take it up a bit so that you have to keep some effort. You can release the clasp of the hands here if it's too much, and you can use your blocks underneath the shoulders if you need. Hug that right hip back as the left hip hugs forward, ground into all four corners of your right foot. Strong bend in that right knee, making sure the pinky side edge of that back foot is connected. Inhale here and exhale, fold deeper. Trying not to just use your right thigh as a shelf, but actually hold your upper body up. Really turn on that right glute here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to come back up and exhale. Take the feet onto one line. So heel to arch or heel to heel alignment. Take the arms out to a T for warrior two. Inhale, exhale, deepen into that right leg. Inhale, exhale. Hips are open towards the left side of the mat. Shoulders are open. Ground into the feet. Imagine pulling that right heel back towards the left heel. Lift through the pelvic floor, hug the navel in and up. Inhale and exhale to lower. Gazes over the front, middle finger. Inhale, straighten into that right leg. Maybe you need to pivot your back foot in a little bit here. Maybe if you need a block, grab it in your right hand. Inhale and exhale, reach forward until your right hand comes down to the ground, your shin or your block. Sweep the left hand up. Look up at the left fingers. So the shoulders are stacked here. You've length through both side bodies. So if you're collapsing down like this to reach the ground, it's much better. Proper alignment to use your block. Keep the body straight. Reach the arm up. You want length through this side and the right side. Inhale here and exhale. Look, bend into the right knee and look about a foot in front of your right foot. If you need to use a block here, take it in the right hand and set it up on the ground. Sweep the left leg up behind, flex through the left foot, open the hips. Right toes pointing forward, sweep the left arm up for half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. It's a hard balancing posture here. So play with the balance. If you have it, maybe you can lift your right fingertips off the ground. Inhale here and exhale. Bring the hands to frame the right foot. Keep that left foot floating for half split. Strong in all four corners of that right foot. Turn on the right quad, the right glute. Bend a little into the right knee if you need. And if it's accessible to you, bring the right hand behind the right and send the chest towards the shin. Thinking of that cow back we had at the beginning. Squaring the hips. So rolling the left hip, the right hip post. You won't be able to lift the leg as high here then, but point through the left toe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, plant both hands. Come up halfway. Send that left foot back behind you. You can keep up on the ball of your left foot if you need, or lower it down if it's available to you for pyramid pose. Again, you can use the blocks here to bring the ground closer to you. Take a micro bend in that right knee. Hips are squared towards the top of the mat. So right hip pulls back as left hip pulls forward. Strong in all four corners of both feet. If your back foot is planted fully, you can either have it at a 45-degree or the toes can be pointing totally forward if you're a bit more open in the hips. Inhale to add length, halfway lift, and exhale, send the chest forward over the right leg. If the hands can come to the ground, turn your fingertips to face your back left foot, the back of the mat, and use your hands to kind of drag your upper body closer to your front leg. Keep a micro bend in that front knee to protect the front hamstring. So don't lock out through the knee if you're very flexible. Inhale, send the chest forward, and exhale, fold deeper. Lift through the pelvic floor, hug the navel in and up. That'll help you fold deeper. And if you're all the way folded over, you can bring your elbows to clasp behind your front leg. Inhale to come back up halfway, plant the hands, frame the front foot. And exhale, bend into that right knee. Send it back to a high plank and take your choice of Vinyasa, or skip it and go straight to down dog. Inhale, we'll all take a quick child's pose here, roll down onto the knees. You can take the wide-legged variation or keep the knees closer together depending where you want to feel your release. If you take the knees close together and the arms back by the feet, you'll feel it more released in the shoulders. And if you take the knees wide and send the hips back with the arms forward, it releases more into the low back and the hips. That was a lot of work with our hips. So I'm going to take the wide knee variation. Inhale and exhale. Coming back to that visualization of drawing the energy up through the earth with your hands and your feet. Reconnecting with the breath. Inhale, come back up to true tabletop, tuck the toes and send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Press the ground away with the hands. Inhale, look forward at the hands. Come up onto the balls of the feet, bend into the knees and either step or hop yourself forward so the feet land outside the hands for malasana or yogi squat. So the feet are about hips width distance. The toes are pointing diagonal, ground into the outer corners of your feet. The knife edge, again with our foot lock, our foot connection with the big toe, baby toe, and the heel. Inhale, bring the palms at heart center. Press the upper arms into the knees and the knees back into the upper arms. Inhale here and exhale. If you want, you can release the arms and just fold a little forward, sway into the feet, rounding through the back, moving the neck, just getting a different feel here. You can, of course, use a block underneath the hips here. And when you're ready, come back to the full variation of malasana. Trying to send the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Trying to draw that energy from our stable foundation of our feet here as we try and rise with the upper body. Common theme in yoga is rooting to rise, so using your strong feet to lift yourself up. So inhale, take your index fingers and make like a gun with your hands, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, spike into your heels, and inhale, press into the legs to stand up. Inhale here and exhale. Slowly lower yourself back down. One deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. To prepare again. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, press into the heels. Inhale, send it up. And if you can, straight away, exhale, take it back down. One breath to prepare here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, spike into your strong foundation. Inhale, press it up. And exhale, take it back down. And stay here in your malasana if that's enough for you. If you'd like to try the arm balance of crow pose, from your malasana, take the hands down onto the mat. Maybe hop your toes together, grip into the mat. And if you like, you can put your feet on a block just to raise the ground up a bit. It makes it easier to lean forward. Bring the knees onto your upper triceps. And inhale, come up onto the top of your toes. Bend into the arms like chaturanga. Grip the mat with your fingertips and point your toes. Lift one off the ground. One foot, the right foot. Put it back down. Point through the left toes. Lift them up. Put it back down. Lift both. Looking forward. Playing with the balance. You can put a blanket or a cushion in front of your head if you're scared you're going to fall. And lift through the pelvic floor, lift the navel in and up. And really make yourself tight. Tight is light, and really flex and point your feet. So you're like you're trying to crunch yourself up into a little ball as you shift the weight forward. And when you're comfortable here, you can jump back to chaturanga. Inhale up to upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Or just meet me in downward facing dog when you're ready. When you're finished playing with the arm balance. We gotta do all that on the other side. Fun. Inhale, lift the heels up. Come onto the balls of your toes. Exhale, bend the knees and step forward. Come up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands back at heart center. Connect into the feet here again. Inhale, bend the knees, send the hips back for chair pose. Inhale, exhale, send the hips lower. Ground through the feet. Connect with the breath. Tuck the tailbone under. Hug the navel in and up. Lift the pelvic floor. Inhale, shift the weight into your left foot. Come up onto the right toe. Send the right foot forward. Cross it over the left knee. Take the right arm under the left. Connect the palms for Garudasana. You can double cross the legs. Do so here, or just point the right toes. And if you need, you can make a little kickstand with your right toes for yourself if the balance is challenging. Inhale here, exhale, fold. Inhale to lift the chest, exhale to fold. And don't worry if you can't double cross the legs. Everyone's thighs and hips are different shapes, so it's not accessible to every body type. Inhale to lift and exhale, folding forward, uncross the legs, send it back to the back of the mat. Tuck the foot down for warrior one with the eagle arm. Inhale to lift the chest, bend into that left knee. And exhale, take it forward for humble warrior. Hips are square to the top of the mat. Ground into the pinky side edge of the back foot.
to try and really engage into that back foot, because the back foot tends to lift off from the back side. So just making sure the pinky edge is grounded in. Inhale and exhale, fold deeper. Sending the left hip back as the right hip pulls forward. Engage into that left glute. Try and take it off the left thigh if you're using it as a shelf. Inhale here and exhale. Inhale, release the clasp of the hands and take it up for warrior two. You're going to have to adjust your feet so that you're on one line here, a tightrope. So either heel to heel or heel to arch, depending on how it feels for you. Sweep the arms out to a T, bend back into that left knee. Hips are open towards the right side of the mat. Shoulders are stacked over the hips. Inhale and exhale. Take the gaze over the left fingertip. Trying to get that left thigh parallel with the ground. Knee tracks over the middle toe. Knee is over the ankle. Inhale and exhale. Fold a little deeper. Lift the pelvic floor. Lift the navel in and up. Pull that left heel back towards the right. Inhale and exhale, straighten that right leg, left leg. Maybe you need to walk the back foot in a little bit here. Maybe you know you need your block. Take it into the left hand. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, take that left hand down onto the block, your mat or the shin. Sweep the right arm up, look up. Shoulders are stacked. You want to try imagine that left hip pulling a little forward as the right hip pulls a little back, and like a slight cow tilt with the back, sending the chest forward. Length through both side bodies. You're really trying to lengthen through the left side body. Inhale and exhale. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Looks easy, but when you do it properly, it's really hard. Inhale and exhale. Look down at the left foot, bend into the left knee. Locate your block if you know you're going to need it. Press it off the right toes and lift the left foot up. The right foot, sorry. Take your block underneath your left shoulder, sweep the right arm up. Your right toes are pointing towards the right. Hips are open to the right. Left toes point forward. Shoulders are stacked. Half moon pose. And if you have the balance, you can play with floating the left hand off the ground. Inhale here and exhale. Bring both hands down to frame the left foot. Send the right foot up behind. Hips are squared. Left toes pointing forward. Roll the right outer hip down and the right inner thigh up. Point the right toe. Micro bend into that left knee if you need to here. Take the left hand behind the left ankle and send the chest forward towards the knee. Or just stay up halfway, palms under the shoulders. You can use your blocks here too. Inhale, exhale, frame the front foot, send the right foot back. You can stay up on the ball of your right foot or flatten it down diagonally or straight forward. Feet are back on train tracks here on opposite sides of the mat. Come up halfway. You can use the blocks under the shoulders here again. Square off the hips, right hip pulls forward, left hip pulls back. Inhale to add a length, reach the crown of the head forward, and exhale. Fold with your cow back, chest towards the shin. If the hands are on the mat, you can take the fingertips pointing towards the back and use them to traction yourself forward, moving with the breath. not forcing anything, just helping yourself. To stop at that point, you know, only you know what it feels like in your body. So not taking anything beyond your limits, not injuring yourself. Inhale and exhale. And if you make a connection here with the chest and the thigh, you can take the hands interlaced behind the left leg. Inhale here, exhale. Frame the front foot with the hands. Send the left foot back to meet the right. Back in our high plank. And take your vinyasa. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, up to cobra or up dog. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale here and exhale. Let it go out the mouth. Feel free to rest in child's pose here. Reconnect with the breath. Coming back to your idea of taking the energy you need out of the earth. This is a challenging class today. We're moving fast. We're doing simple poses, but we're holding them for a long time, which also takes a lot of effort. Inhale, come up onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees, look forward at the hands, step forward, or if you can, jump landing with the feet outside the hands. Settle down into your malasana again here. Yogi squat. You can allow the upper body to round forward. Shimmy the hips from side to side. Before taking the elbows to the knees and the knees to the elbows, hands at prayer. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, take your yoga gun, your Kali Mudra, index fingers pointing up. Reach the arms up. Exhale, press down strongly into your heels. Inhale to lift yourself up. And exhale, slowly lower down. Back to your yogi squat. Keep Kali Mudra. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, press into the heels first. Inhale to rise slowly up. And exhale, rise, lower slowly back down. Inhale and exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, spike into the heels. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, slowly lower down. Another chance here to play with crow pose if you'd like. Jump the toes together. Flatten the palms onto the mat. Set your pillow or your cushion up in front of your head if that scares you. Index fingers pointing forward. Trying to get the knees on the backs of the triceps. Lift up onto the toes. Look forward. You want to look where you want to go. If you look down, you're going to fall down between your hands. So that's the trick. You need to look forward, which feels wrong, but it's not. Inhale and exhale. Play with lifting one foot. Point the toes. Maybe you lift both. Inhale, exhale. Keep that connection with the breath. Lift everything up. And exhale, come out. Always leaving enough energy to get out of your poses safely. Inhale, press up. Feet are hips width distance. Coming up to halfway lift. And exhale, fold yourself forward. Take your peace fingers around your big toes. You can bend into the knees as much as you need to here. Inhale, send the chest forward like our cow back. And exhale, bend the elbows, fold forward. Allow the head to be heavy. Allow each inhale to find length and each exhale to find space. Lift through the pelvic floor, hug the navel in and up. That'll help you fold more. Inhale and exhale. Use the fingers to pull yourself a little closer. Inhale, come back up to halfway. Exhale, release the peace fingers. And you have two options here. You can either take the palms of your hands next to the feet on the mat, bend into the knees as much as you need to here. Or you can take the palms of the hands under the foot, standing on your palms. For Padahastasana or gorilla pose. So your toes are coming to the backs of your wrists. Shift the weight back into the toes here. Inhale and exhale, bend the elbows, fold forward. And kind of wiggle your toes around here. Give your palms a nice massage. Inhale to lift through the pelvic floor, hug the navel in and up, and exhale, bend the elbows more, using your strength to pull yourself a little deeper into the fold. Head can hang heavy. Inhale, release the hands from underneath the feet. Tuck the chin, slightly bend into the knees, and slowly roll yourself up to standing. From here, ground into your left foot. Again, checking all four corners of that foot. Come up onto the toes of the right foot. Hug the right foot up. Flex the foot so that the the sole of your foot on the inside of your left thigh for tree pose. Now press into that left foot. Really engage the left quad, the left glute. Open through the hips here. So like square the hips towards the front and send that right knee back towards the back behind you. Lift the pelvic floor, hug the navel in and up. And if you want, you can take prayer hands, or you can take Yan Mudra with the index and the thumb meeting and take it out to the side. Your choice here. Inhale and exhale. Keeping the gaze forward on a focal point in front of you. Imagining you're like a tree swaying in the breeze. Drawing your energy up from the earth, from that strong trunk of your left leg. If you want more of a challenge, you can raise the arms up overhead and take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Take the hands back down. Release the foot. And slowly roll out that left ankle. Just give it a break. From here, take the left hand to the hip. Bring the right knee in line with the left. And send that right foot back behind you. With the right hand, catch the inside of the right foot. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, slide the left hand down the left quad as you kick that right foot up towards the ceiling. Stay here, or if you want more, send the chest more forward. Send the left arm out to the front. Kick with the chest, kick with the foot and lift with the chest for dancer's pose. Strong in that left leg, left quad, left foot. Using the right quad to lift, the right glute to lift your right leg up. So not really using the hand, but using the strength of your leg. Inhale here and exhale. Slowly release. Take it over to the other side. Take the weight into the right foot.
Come up onto the ball of the left foot. Flex that left foot. Catch the ankle. Press the sole of your left foot next to your right inner thigh. Ground through the right foot, all four corners. Send the hips slightly forward, squared towards the front as that left knee pushes back behind you. Turn on the right glute, the right quad to help with your balance. Lift through the pelvic floor, hug the navel in and up. Taking your variation with the hands. Hands at heart center, or you can split the hands, take them up overhead. You can take the gaze up to challenge your balance even more. Inhale and exhale. Take the hands back to heart center and slowly release the left foot with control, and then just roll out that right ankle. Take the right hand to the right hip. Bend the left knee so the left foot goes back behind. Reach back with the left foot, with the left arm to catch the inner side of the left foot. Inhale, exhale. Find a focal point in front of you that you can focus on. Take the right hand down the right quad. Stay here if that's enough, just leaning, lifting with that left leg. Or take the right hand out in front as you kick with the left leg up and send the chest forward. But keep the chest high. So you're leaning slightly forward, but you're also maintaining height. Kicking more with that left leg. Not pulling with the left hand, but using the strength in your left quad and glute to lift. Using the breath. Strong foundation of the right foot. Ground into all four corners. Engage the right quad, the right glute. Hold it here. Kick. And inhale to come back out. Release the foot again. Roll out that right ankle. Probably slightly on fire now. Inhale, we'll just sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, just bend the knees. Come up onto the balls of the feet. And slowly lower yourself down to a seat on your mat. So just walk any flesh around the sitting bones out to the side so your hips and sitting bones can be grounded with the earth. Flex through the feet, sending the toes up towards the ceiling. Pressing the big toe mounds forward as the pinky toes pull back. Take the hands by the hips. And just square through the shoulders, creating a nice L shape with the body. Look forward, lift the chin slightly. Imagine a string coming out of the top of your head, someone's pulling it up. As also someone's pulling your feet. A dandasana or staff pose. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, send the chest forward as the tailbone tilts back. Lift through the pelvic floor, lift the navel in and up. Folding forward. When you can't fold forward anymore, bring the hands towards the feet and slowly release the head towards the shins. You can use your strap here if you need to. Keep the feet flexed. Send the chest forward and exhale, fold. Sending the tailbone back behind you. Imagining if you had a tail, it's wagging behind you as the chest reaches forward. Feeling the stretch in the hamstrings. even if the hands are on the mat next to the knees or the shins, keeping the same integrity with the spine. Sending the tailbone back as the heart melts forward. And if you want to make this posture slightly more passive, you can just bend the knees and just lift them up off the mat a little. Slide the elbows in under the knees and just round the upper back. So the forehead comes to rest on the knees. You can also use a block here to take pressure out of the neck. It's far away from resting on the knees. Taking your variation as we find rest. When you're ready, tuck the chin. Slowly roll back up to seated. Take the left foot planted on the inside of your right thigh, maybe about palms width distance. Inhale to lift the chest up and exhale. Reach the arms up as well. Inhale and exhale, then fold forward, reaching for the right foot. Trying to hug that left knee in towards the left shoulder. If you have a strap here, take it into the left hand. Reach that left arm forward and take it around the outside of the left knee. Reach the right arm forward, internally rotate and switch it around to your back. And find the strap, or maybe you find your fingertips of your other hand. Inhale to send the chest forward and exhale to fold. Keeping that right foot flexed. Keeping all four corners of the left foot grounded in the mat. Keeping that left knee hugged in towards the body, not letting it splay out to the left. Inhale, keep that connection with your locks. Pelvic floor, navel in and up. And exhale, fold a bit deeper. Inhale, untuck the chin. Release the clasp of the hands, come back up. So your body's upright. And just switch it out. Send the left leg forward, bend into the right knee. Plant the right sole of your foot just inside the right inner thigh, about palms width distance. Inhale, reach the arms up and exhale, fold forward. Keep that right knee hugged in towards the right shoulder. Internally rotate the right arm, take it on the outside of the right knee. Use it here if you need to. Internally rotate the left arm, take it around to the back. Make the connection with the strap or with your fingertip. Inhale to lift the chest, thinking of that cow back, and exhale, send it forward. And just folding forward here, hugging the right knee into the right shoulder. If you don't want to go for the bind, you'll still get the same stretch. Choosing the option that suits you and your body and your practice today. Inhale, engage the locks. And exhale, fold a little deeper. Imagining the chin going towards the shin. Inhale to lift back up. And exhale, release the bind. Send the feet out to the front. Maybe just give them a little bit of a shake. Scoot the bum towards the heels. And exhale. Take it down onto your back. Inhale. Hug the knees into the chest. Cross the left knee over the right and reach for your outer shins. Keep the lower back grounded onto the mat. Inhale and exhale. Try and flex through the feet and try and bring the feet closer down towards your shoulders. For Supta Gomukhasana, reclining cow face. So normally we do this sitting up on the knees. Open into the hips. Inhale and exhale. Maybe the feet can come a little closer. Keeping that connection with the low back and the mat. Keeping the feet nice and flexed to protect the knees. Connecting with the breath. Inhale, release the clasp of your shins or ankles and just switch the cross of the leg. So the right leg is coming over the left this time. Flex through the feet, bend at the knees, catch your outer shins. And if you can catch the knife edge of your feet. Inhale and exhale. Hug the feet towards the shoulders while trying to keep the low back connected on the mat. So don't let the hips lift up and don't let the shoulders lift off the mat either. Entire spine is connected. Inhale and exhale. Keep the feet strongly flexed here. Protect your knees. Just breathe. Feel a nice release through the hips. Inhale here and exhale. Release the feet. Release the clasp. Hug the knees into the chest. Inhale and exhale. Send the feet back towards the end of your mat. Take the palms underneath the bum and just shimmy the elbows in close as you lift the upper back off the mat. Inhale to lift the chest and exhale. Send the crown of the head back to reach the mat for fish pose. Point through the toes. Toes are connected. Press into the elbows. Inhale and exhale. You can take more of a started version of this if you'd like, with the blocks under the shoulder blades. Inhale and exhale. Send the chest towards the ceiling. Press into the elbows. So there's no real weight on your head, it's just in the elbows. Inhale, press into the elbows to lift the head up. And exhale, slowly lower yourself back down onto the mat. Slide the hands back out from underneath. Inhale, hug the knees into the chest. Exhale. Inhale, keep the right knee hugged in. Send the left leg back out towards the end of the mat. Take the right arm out to a T. Inhale and exhale. Use the left hand to guide the right knee over towards the left of the mat. Take your gaze to your right hand. Inhale and exhale here. Just letting go of control, allowing the breath and gravity to pull that left knee over, the right knee over towards the left. Feeling the release in the spine. Inhale, take it back up to center. Exhale, switch the legs out so right leg is straight. Inhale, hug the left knee into the chest, in towards the armpit. Take the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale and exhale. Guide your right knee over, your left knee over towards the right side of the mat. You might need to shimmy a little bit onto the outside of your right hip here. Left arm is out to a T. Take the gaze over to the left. Inhale and exhale. Just allow the breath to release and allow gravity to take that left knee over towards the right. One deep inhale and exhale here. Inhale, take it back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Lift the shoulders and the head up towards the knees. Inhale deeply into the nose. Fill up the lungs. Inhale. Try and suck an extra little bit of air in. Keep going like that, imagining you're filling up a balloon. And when you can't possibly fill any more air into your lungs, pop your balloon and exhale. Send the feet towards the corners of the mat. Palms out wide by your side. Feet flop to the sides, releasing all control on the body. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale. Sigh it out the mouth. One more like that, inhaling. Exhale, let it go. Taking any last little movements you need here to be comfortable before we enter our final resting position. Letting go of all control in the body, letting go of control of the breath. Taking your awareness to all 10 toes. Release any tension in the toes, soles of the feet, ankles, whole foot. Release any tension in your shins, calves, knees, thighs, whole legs. Release any tension in your hips and all the muscles around your seat. The low back, the middle back, the upper back, the low belly, chest, shoulders melt down towards the mat. Neck is long, head is completely supported by the mat. Release any tension in the upper arms, the elbows, forearms. Any tension in the wrists, fingers, knuckles, palms of your hands. The whole hands and arms are relaxed. Let go of any tension in your jaws. Tongue is relaxed in the mouth. Feel gravity pull your cheeks towards the earth. Eyes are relaxed in your eye socket. Unfurl the space between your eyebrows. Your whole head is relaxed. Your whole body is relaxed. You are completely relaxed. When you're ready, slowly start to come back into your physical body, taking small movements with the fingers and toes, moving up to the wrists and ankles. Inhale, bring the big toes to touch. Sweep the arms up overhead and take a big morning stretch. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, hug the knees into the chest. And exhale, roll onto your right side, making a little pillow with your right upper arm. Pausing here for a moment. In this fetal position, knowing that you're completely supported by the earth. When you're ready, press into your left hand and find your way back up to an easy seat, allowing the eyes to stay closed down. Bring the palms onto the tops of the thighs. Feel the sit bones ground into the earth. Shoulders stacked over the hips. Crown of the head reaches up. Scanning the body here, noticing if anything has changed. Bring the hands to prayer at heart center and bow the chin into the chest. Taking a moment here to thank yourself. Thank your body for all of the wonderful things it can do. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. The light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in all of you. Namaste.